What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C4, and this better be the fucking time. I'm telling you this right now. This is the fifth or sixth time I have tried to record this first video of the new expansion video series, and it's I'm at my wit's end. So the first time I tried to do it, we're going to be the Cleveland Browns, and the Cleveland Browns was great. But then I tried to do the expansion draft. I was going to do an expansion draft for you guys. Wouldn't work. Half the players I wanted to pick got injured. They're injured. You're unable to trade here in this offline mode. So I had to re-scrap that. That was about half hour worth of work. And then the second time I did it, I finally figured out. I cut some players, moved some things around to get my expansion draft done. And then I was a Cleveland Browns, so I took them into connected franchise mode. Then I went to go to relocate them. And right now I'm about 45 minutes into the video. And when I went to relocate them, found out you can't relocate the Browns first year. There's no, their stadium level's too high to relocate. So I was like, oh my fucking god, are you kidding me? So then we did part 3, which is what we did into the runner-up in the poll voting, which you guys would have already seen by now, and hopefully voted in. The Jags was the number 2 team. So I was like, all right, let's do the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I did the expansion draft. I did everything right, went to the connected franchise mode, relocated the team, glitched out, went to week 5, which is the week that you're supposed to see when you can relocate it. Didn't work. So there's another 45 minutes down the drain. Then I went to do it again. Number 4. Same thing. Expansion draft. Started with the Jags. Relocated them. Got them to level 5. Relocated them. And then for some reason, you're supposed to get the relocation. And then you pick the team name a week later. And then a week later, you pick your jerseys. The jerseys didn't come up. I didn't get to pick the jersey or the stadium. So I was like, I got to fucking scrap this again, man. So here is my 5th try. And I just hope this works out well. This video is going to be long. But it's not going to be the norm. It's just the one big major video. There's going to be no editing. I'm just going to shoot it straight from the hip. There may be some slip-ups, some slight technical difficulties, but for the most part, we're getting this video here and out of the way. So let's just do the preemptive what happened. So I asked you guys a video about 2-3 weeks ago about I want to do an expansion franchise. I've always wanted to do it. It's something I've done even before I was on YouTube, back in the old PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, NFL 2K5, Madden 2004, 2005 days. I always like creating my own team and starting from the scratch. You can't do it in this game, so I have to take over a team and relocate them. So I'm inheriting a base roster, and what I'm going to deal with that, I'll explain just a little bit later on. But essentially, this is something I always wanted to do, and you guys, overwhelmingly supported this idea, so I'm glad that I can bring to the channel along with the rebuilds and my Eagles Connected franchise mode going forward. So I asked you guys to vote on 4 things, and the results were pretty one-sided in every direction. I only had to make a change on the team that I could relocate for reasons I've already mentioned. So number 1 question I asked was, what was the style? Did you want me to do it the Eagles Connected franchise mode style, where you get shorter, 10 to 20 minute videos, which will be weekly highlights. So you'll get, clips of the game and maybe drafting or any time of tinkering I need to do with the lineup, and you'll get roughly, 25 to 30 videos a season. Or I could do it in the model of my realistic rebuilds, which is like, the 45-minute long video with lots of simming. You guys overwhelmingly voted for me to do the Eagles Connected franchise mode, which is what I want to do. So that is what you're going to see, aside from this video, which is going to be a lot of the, the moving parts that I need to get to the next stage. So number 3 was for you guys to vote on how I, accumulate the roster. Be it, start with the basic roster, do an expansion draft, and overwhelmingly you guys voted the expansion draft. So I've already had a bunch of issues with that. So I decided, I've already done the expansion draft, players are on this roster, and I'll break into it, that we're going to go in the mold of the 2002 expansion draft. Make it as realistic as possible. So when the Houston Texans became a team, they had to either sign 30 players and or spend 38% of the cap, which at that time is only like $27 million. 38% of the cap right now is $59 million. So I need to spend at least $59 million and get 30 players. So I have done that, and I will break that down for you guys once we jump into the video. Number 2 was to pick where we decide to relocate the franchise. And there's really 2 front runners here in terms of the picks. Second place runner-up was the Oklahoma City Nighthawks that had 21% of the votes. But the number 1, surprising, even as a Canadian, was the Toronto Huskies. I already moved to a team to Toronto when I did the Buffalo Bills rebuild. Maybe you guys liked that enough that you want to see me do Toronto. I don't have a problem doing Toronto at all. I'm a Canadian, and it's really nice to do a franchise here in Canada. And it was overwhelming. I think it was like 35% of the votes. So we were relocating a team to Toronto. And number 1 was, what team did you want me to relocate? And the number one by 50%, the biggest landslide of all of them almost, was the Cleveland Browns. And I've already tried to do it, and it wouldn't let me relocate the Browns, so I thought the next logical step was to do the second most rated team, which was the Jacksonville Jaguars, with I think they had 21, 22, 23%. And we're going to be doing the Jags. We can relocate the Jags. It can be done. The only thing that kind of sucks about this is the Jags have a little bit better roster than the Browns, so I have a lot more moving pieces and guys that I need to kind of move around, guys I need to decide whether to keep, and stuff like that. So, moving on. This is where, in the first two times, I actually made it look like an actual draft, where I went to certain teams and picked them. I'll just announce it just to save me a couple other steps. Cut me some slack. This is, the fifth time I've tried to do it. I spent almost 4 or 5 fucking hours trying to get this done. It's getting frustrating. It's like the game doesn't want me to do it, but I'm going to fucking power through. This game can suck it. So, we have 30 players we need to keep, and because we're inheriting a roster, we're not a straight-up expansion team, we are going to deal and trade and keep some of the Jags that are on here. And we'll go by a position breakdown. But before we do that, I'm going to do the 10 players. We currently have 10 players that we have acquired in the expansion draft from other teams. Now, when doing this, the guys we're picking, we're not taking stars. We're taking guys at, they're either string 2, backups, according to Madden. Backups according to Madden. There's one guy for sure that's probably not a backup, but according to Madden, they're a backup. Or they'd be, if they were starter, over 80 overall, except they could be guys that we consider cash cows, cap cows, salary, whatever you want to call them. Guys that maybe on their last year of the contract, or guys that have a fat contract, and maybe the team on the depth chart has a younger guy that's ready to take their spot, and they want to offload their contract. Very real much to what happened in the last 2002 expansion draft, where guys like the Jags gave up Tony Baselli, very fat contracted offensive lineman, and players like that, and the such. So, before we jump into the Jags, like I said, I didn't really do the official expansion draft. I'll do a modified version right here. So with our first pick in the expansion draft, a player that I know a lot of you guys want to see, we selected Deshaun Jackson from the Washington Redskins. He's set to be a free agent, I believe, at the end of the season. 84 overall. He's 29 years old, so unfortunately, we're going to have to sim through this first point of this first season until we can get to Toronto. He'll be 30 when we finally take over him. So he's going to be kind of a shell of his former self, especially with the regression system here in Madden, but we still have Deshaun Jackson. He'll be, at the worst case scenario, wide receiver 3 on our offense. Then with the second pick in the expansion draft, staying at wide receiver, we acquired Ty Montgomery from the Green Bay Packers, a wide receiver running back hybrid, but we're going to be using him very much so as a wide receiver. I think he was great value, especially on a team with this much wide receiver depth as the Green Bay Packers. It was nice to pluck one of these guys from the limbs. With the third pick in the expansion draft from the Carolina Panthers, we got Trey Turner, who was number 2 on the depth chart. I was surprised. I remember last year in Madden, Trey Turner was like an 84, 85. But they signed Ryan Wendell, the former New England Patriot, and he was number 1 on the depth chart in Madden. And I think he was a 79, and Trey Turner's here at a 76. So I was like, well, screw it. We'll take the young guard, and hopefully we can develop into something pretty solid. So then with our fourth pick in the expansion draft, we got a guy that was maybe a favorite, but it was a monster in our rebuilds with the LA Rams. Florida Gator himself, Dominique Easley, 78 overall. This guy just seemingly finds ways to get double-digit sacks, be it a defensive tackle or defensive end. And I think I don't know what the Jags, if they're a 3-4 or a 4-3, but I want to be running a 4-3, and he will be a beast defensive tackle for us, so that's why we took him with the fourth pick. Then with the fifth pick, we got a Canadian. I want to try to add a couple Canadians to this roster, which is how you probably would do a Canadian franchise. So we get the rookie from the New Orleans Saints, David Onyemata from the University of Manitoba up here in Canada, ya hoser. He will probably start a defensive tackle alongside Dominique Easley with us. Then with our sixth pick in the franchise mode, we got safety DJ Swearinger, who is well behind Tyrann Mathieu in the Arizona Cardinals as the number 2 safety. I think he's on his last year of his deal as well. Nice, good cover player, 25 years old, 80 overall. Exactly at a position of need, too, as we did move on from Deshaun Gibson here before we started the expansion draft. So then with pick number 7, we got a guy who I could not believe in real life went undrafted. As a Florida Gator fan, I knew he was a stud. As a Florida Gator fan, I knew he wasn't really that far off of Keanu Neal in terms of talent. How he went undrafted just beats the shit out of me. But you got Dan Quinn, former Florida defensive coordinator, probably had an inside track. I wish he called me boy C4 here. But we got Brian Poole, the rookie from Florida, 23 years old, 75 overall right now, undrafted free agent. I personally always viewed him more as a safety, which we may have to make a change there. But he can play safety and or corner, and he's a valuable weapon to our team. Then with the, what are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. With the number 8 pick, another Canadian at the right tackle spot from the Cleveland Browns. We got Austin Padsor, 76 overall actually. Not sure. I think he's on his last year of his contract. Not exactly sure if I'm going to re-sign him or not. He probably won't come super cheap, but at least for the year, it just sounds like even if he's only there for in Jacksonville, it doesn't carry over to Toronto. And this pick makes absolutely no sense. More Canadians on the roster, the better. Then with the 8th pick of the expansion draft, we went to tight end and got another Canadian, but also a talented tight end I think is kind of buried on the depth chart behind Jimmy Graham in Seattle. And that is Luke Wilson. Yes, the double L Wilson on the Seahawks. 77 overall, 26 years old, still has plenty of time. 26, we got at least 4 or 5 years out of him as our maybe starting tight end, unless we really hit on a draft pick or in free agency. But I fully expect this young Canadian to be a stud for us at tight end. Great speed, 91 acceleration. That's great. Absolutely great. It's huge. So then with, what are we at, 9, 10? 9th pick of the expansion draft, we got right outside linebacker, buried behind, just buried, I sound so Canadian when I say that, buried behind Von Miller, was left outside linebacker Shaquille Barrett from the Denver Broncos. 23 years old, 81 overall. I think he's in his last year, too, of his rookie deal. He was probably set to hit free agent. I don't think the Broncos had much use for him. So he's going to be a nice playmaker. Probably, Deshaun's definitely on the downturn. So this guy here will be definitely a guy that can grow and be a face of our defense. And then with the final pick in the expansion draft, selecting another Canadian, the highest paid Canadian player in the history of the NFL. From the Dallas Cowboys, Tyrone Crawford, 77 overall, 26 years old, from Boise State. Not personally a big fan, obviously, for reasons very clear that he was a Dallas Cowboy. But he, for being one of the highest rated Canadians, the most paid Canadian, might as well add him to the team. Plus, he was number 2 on the depth chart there in Dallas, so it made sense that he might fall his way into the expansion draft. So those are the guys that we've decided to add from the expansion draft. So you're saying, well, what was the cap space? Roughly, that's probably $20 million of cap. So we got 19 base guys from this roster. Most of them we're going to trade to make it somewhat more realistic. Because, in an expansion like this, I don't know if this is exactly how it works, but it seems like if you were already a team and you're becoming an expansion team, maybe the players' contracts will become fluid, and if they want to continue to stay with the organization, they could. Or if they want to defer to free agency or go somewhere else, they could also do that. So, not all your stars will probably be super happy that they're leaving the warm weather of Florida and coming up to Canada. So here's what we're going to do for the 19 players on this roster. At the quarterback position, we got Blake Bortles. We will be bringing him along with us, but we will be throwing him on the trade block. He is not going to be the quarterback of the Toronto Huskies, I can tell you that. At the running back position, we have Chris Ivory and TJ Yeldon. We will be keeping Chris Ivory on the roster. 28 years old, so he's definitely starting to hit on the downturn of his career. We might be able to get 1 or 2 years out of him. We still have to solve the running back position. TJ Yeldon, though, on the other hand, a young running back, he will be getting thrown up on the trade block. Looking at fullback, we don't have one. Wide receiver, this is where it became a little bit tough. But I'm going to keep Allen Robinson. I know it's getting, borderline. Come on, you're keeping an 88 overall wide receiver. I'm a big fan of Allen Robinson. I want him to be my franchise player. But on the downturn, Allen Hurns, 24 years old, 85 overall, still a lot of youth on his side. We will be putting him up on the trade block. He will not be coming over with us to Toronto. Same goes with Marquise Lee, 78 overall, 24 years old. Hopefully we can get a pick for him and move him on. The first time I did this, Yeldon and Lee, out of all the players I'm going to tell you that I traded, did not go. So hopefully we can get them here gone first round. Tight end Julius Thomas will be coming with us, but he will be getting traded for sure. No more Julius Thomas. That is an inflated contract that I want to wash my hands of. Tackles fine. Jokel we'll be keeping Luke Jokel, and we will be keeping him on the roster. We'll be not getting rid of him. When we did the Jags rebuild, he did develop into a solid guard, so we hopefully can get that out of him with us. Brandon Linder, 85 overall center. We are for sure keeping him and not trading him. Centers are tough to come by, especially a 24-year-old that's 85 overall. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Toronto Huskies. Looking at right guard, Trey Turner's there. Tackles fine. At left defensive end, Dante Fowler will be coming with us to Toronto. Even though you may very well, Florida Gator, want to stay in the Florida Heat. I'm not going to disrespect my Florida Gators like that. I'm going to be, I'm the owner. Beast Mode TV is the owner of this. You're going to see in a second. I'm going to pay my Florida Gators very nice to come with me all the way to Canada. So Fowler will be coming and staying on the roster. Also, Yannick Ngakoue will be coming as a rookie and staying with us on our roster. Looking at defensive tackle, big free agency signing from the Denver Broncos, Malik Jackson, 86-year overall, 86 overall, 26 years old, will be coming with us, but being thrown up on the trade block. Goodbye, Malik Jackson. Hopefully we can get a first-round pick for him. Left side linebacker, Miles Jack, will be staying with us and not going on the trade block. You are going to be a Toronto Husky. Congrats. Paul Splesny, 86 overall middle linebacker. You will be coming with us as a captain on this team. But unfortunately, we will be throwing you up on the trade block to acquire some picks. So there's already a gaping hole at middle linebacker that we are going to have to try to deal with here. Right outside linebacker, Telvin Smith. You will be coming with us as a member of the Toronto Huskies. Thank you very much. Big fan of Telvin Smith. Think he's an incredibly underrated linebacker, so I definitely want to keep him as much as I could. I'll get a corner, Jalen Ramsey, 82 overall. You will be coming with us to the Toronto Huskies, but unfortunately for you, you have to come to Canada. You know, Florida boy, you're going to be like, oh, it's so cold up there. Suck it. You're staying on our team. But Prince Amukamara, you as well are coming with us on our roster, but you are getting thrown up on the trade block. You can suck it. Suck it, buddy. Aaron Colvin will be coming with us on the roster, and I will be keeping him, I think. I may throw him on the trade block if I can get a good pick for him, but if not, you will be our corner just in case we need to move Brian Poole to safety. We need that corner depth. And finally, last but not least, Jonathan Cyprien will be coming with us to Toronto. Will he? Will he not be? Jonathan Cyprien will be kept, but we will be throwing him up on the trade block. Hopefully we can get a first-round pick. If we can't get a first-round pick, I may decide on keeping him, but I'm fairly confident the first time I tried doing this, I did get a first-round pick for Cyprien, so we will be keeping him and trying to move him. So that is it for the little mini expansion draft, plus guys that we're carrying over. And now it is time. I guess we'll continue without saving. Now it is time to jump in to the official franchise mode. Let me know. Someone can please let me know in the comment section below if you're at this point. What is the difference between offline and cloud? For a guy that I'm not playing other users, what is the is there actually I don't want to load. Is there a reason to do one over the other, or doesn't matter? That'd be a nice little tidbit of information you guys could shoot in there and help me out. But let's do this shit. Let's move the Jacksonville Jaguars to Toronto. Roster import. Gotta import that fat roster that we got. Thank you, Jacksonville. We will be starting in the preseason. We will be the owner because you have to be the owner to relocate. I'm going to create an owner. So I guess there's no former players of the Jags that would buy this. There's no lifelong Jags fans. They're on suicide watch. So we're going to be Shad Khan himself, a financial mogul. I guess it's the year 2018, and your boy C4 here has taken over YouTube. I have more subscribers than PewDiePie, and I have so much money by doing prank channels and, other videos like that, doing Madden Ultimate Team, that I can buy the Jacksonville Jaguars and bring them up here to Canada, which is dank. We'll be playing on Madden. Turn pre-existing injuries off. We'll go 9-minute quarters. Accelerated play clock. All that's off. And tutorials are off. I don't need no goddamn tutorials. So let's jump into things. So what we're going to do here is we're clearly going to go to the stadium option, relocate this team. For the love of God, if it doesn't work, I'm just going to back up and retry it again. Sorry for the lack of editing. This is goddamn hour 6 of me trying to do this shit. Okay. We'll answer this media question real quick first, so they want to get a piece of my mind. Obviously, we'll do this one here. That sounds pretty good. Don't give a shit about these questions, because I don't give a shit about the fans of Jacksonville. You could suck it. What we're going to do is we are going to go to stadium. And we are going to relocate. Begin the relocation process. Thank you very much. Things to do in a couple weeks. Sure thing. Sure fucking thing there, bud. Alright, what we're going to do here is we are going to sim to the regular season. Actually, maybe that's what happens. So many times I skim like a big bunch of games, and that's when things get fucky. Because last time things looked pretty good. I got to relocate the team, but then out of nowhere, maybe because I simmed a couple games too many, it wouldn't let me pick the jerseys or stadiums. Well, we got Roy Miller here. What are we going to get for you? A second-round pick? Second, 6th, and 7th? But we need a middle linebacker, but what's that? 4th. Now we'll take the second-round pick from Atlanta. Sure thing, you can have 29-year-old Roy Miller. Fill your boots. But I'm not going to... I'm not going to throw everyone up on the trade block because I don't want this to take too long in case it fucks up. Because it comes week 5, and I think the trade deadline's week 8. So we definitely have more than enough time to throw everyone on the trade block and move on from the guys I said I was going to move on from. But I don't want to skip anything. It's got to make this video a little bit longer. Like, probably only a minute or two longer. But I want to be able to do everything. I want it to work right. For fuck's sakes, Madden, make this shit work right. This is advance. Like, why can't I just create a team? Madden, why did you get rid of create a team? That was such a nice little addition you had there. You had a lot more cities. Stop limiting yourself. People hate that. It seems like game developers always want to make it really, really tight and concise. Make it broaden your horizons. Expand things. That's what people want. You know? Alright. Answer media question. What we got here? Coming off a poor season, what is this team headed for? Oh, shit. Well, we're definitely not making the fucking playoffs. Maybe I should not have picked that answer. Who knows? What I'm going to do is I'm going to modify the depth chart so that guys that I'm keeping will have some experience points, hopefully. So we got Allen Robinson. I want Deshaun Jackson and Montgomery. Tight end will be Luke Wilson. Thank you. Okay, why is Jokel not starting at guard? Maybe because he was hurt. I will have Jokel at guard. People always say I say guard funny. Fuck you. No, fuck you, buddy. Right defensive end, Dante Fowler. Left, that one will be Crawford, even though Ngakwe's pretty solid. Love that as our defensive tackles. Actually, no, we'll keep it like that. Got Barrett as left outside linebacker, middle linebacker. Let's make it Miles Jack instead of Paul Plesny. Right outside linebacker, Telvin Smith. Corners will be Amuk, Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Colvin, Brian Poole. Free safety will be Swearinger. And strong safety will be Cyprian for the time being. Because I'm not sure yet if I'm going to get rid of him. Who knows? Okay. Now let's do this to week 5. Hopefully, fingers fucking crossed this works. For the love of God, I don't want to record this a 7th fucking time. I don't want to sound so negative. I wish I could be as hyped as the first time I try to do everything correctly. But, oh shit. Al Robinson out for 6 weeks. Okay, here's something I don't want to do. I'm going to turn it back on, but I'm going to turn injuries off for now. Just because I don't want to get fucked by one of the guys that I'm going to have to trade getting hurt and making it so I can't trade him. That is great that Allen Robinson got hurt. Fucking phenomenal. Injuries are off. Okay? Of course Allen Robinson would get hurt week 1 for 6 goddamn weeks. Okay, we'll just stay that. We'll answer that question. We'll do everything. We'll do the media's bidding here. So the record, the 2 times that I've done this, we've had, I think 4 wins is the most we've had. So we're not leaving Jacksonville with, fans super excited about the team or anything like that. We're going to be, the team's pretty upset. For scouting as well, just to make this video go a little bit quicker, I already know what direction I'm going with the draft. Next year, when I actually do the first official with the Huskies, I may get you guys a little bit more involved with the scouting process. Even though I eventually change the names, it doesn't really matter. It's pretty irrelevant. Alright, here should be the relocate thing. There we go. See, look, okay. Relocate team, name, uniform, stadium. Last time, it only gave me the first 2 options. I don't know why the fuck it did that. It's incredibly frustrating. But let's do this shit. Relocate. View available cities. I know where I'm going. Thank you. We are going to Toronto. Coming up here to Canada. I don't know what the fuck. They'd probably have to build a brand new stadium if they came up here to Toronto, actually. Answer the media question. Sir, yes, sir. New generation of fans. That is the whole thing. We want to attract, view this team as the way the Raptors are taken in the NBA. We're not just Toronto's team. We're the team that represents Canada. The entire country of Canada. If you're already a fan of another team like me, I'm an Eagles fan, the Canadian team would be my de facto number 2 team just because they're Canadian, All right, week number 6. Choose the name, and you guys voted, and we're going to be the Huskies of Canada, the Canadian Huskies. Oh, do I pick my jerseys on this screen, or what? No. Okay, there's still no jersey picking. So what's going on here, bud? There's a uniform. All right, now we gotta throw these motherfuckers up on the trade block because week 8, I think it's the trade deadline, right? So what we're gonna do? Blake Bortles, trade block. T.J. Yeldon, trade block. We got Alan Hearns, trade block. Marquise Lee, you're going on the trade block. We got tight end Julius Thomas. You're going up on the trade block. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, maybe we can get something for this guy. Throw you up on the trade block. What about Kelvin Beachum? Trade block. Malik Jackson, thanks for coming, for being here for a couple weeks. You're on the trade block. You guys are staying. Paul Posluszny, trade block. Thank you. Telvin Smith, you're staying. Prince Amukamara, you're going on the trade block for sure. Swearinger, you're staying. And we'll throw Cypriot up on the trade block. Alright, let's pick these jerseys. Uniform. The fans like these ones. Look pretty plain though. Those there kind of look like a shitty Seattle. Those ones there look like a fucking runoff. I kind of like those ones just because they're dark. There's, It kind of still looks like the Jags, like if the Jags actually made the move. That one has a little bit more color. Black. Between these two for sure. Fuck, this is a tough one. There's just not enough blue. The blue's the color that stands out. But those helmets look ugly as shit. Alright, we'll go with these ones. Style number 3. Alright, let's go to the next week. Trade deadline week. Give me some goddamn players. Give me your picks. Give me all your picks, baby. Thank fuck. I thought I missed it. I thought for 1 second I thought I missed the trade deadline. So we have our jerseys. We'll choose our stadium first. I just love the old school one. This is the one I usually have always picked. The one that looks like an outside bowl. So we're picking that one. It's always that one. Again, construction. Thank you very much, please. Because if you're in Canada, pretty much they'd probably go to the Sky Dome or something like that. Play like where the Blue Jays play. But we'll go in the realm of possibility that we're getting an entirely new stadium. So for Julius Thomas, we got a 2nd round pick, a 2nd and a 7th. 2nd and a 7th. That's probably the best we're getting. So where do we want to send him? A 2nd to Tampa Bay. Julius Thomas probably likes the weather. We'll send him to Tampa Bay. Welcome to the Bucks. There you go, bud. Thanks for the 2nd round pick. 2018 is going to be a big draft. We're going to have so many fucking picks. Oh, T.J. Yeldon. I didn't get an offer for Yeldon last time I did all this. 2nd round pick from the Bears. There you go. Enjoy your time in Chicago. And And we got Prince Amukamara. Where do you want to go? Second round picks, 2nd, 5th, and 7th from Washington. That could be... I think the Redskins are winning this one. 2nd, 5th, and 6th from Buffalo. They got you beat. Especially because what I'm going to do for this year's draft, the 2017 and 2018 draft, all the players will be edited to real prospects, and I'm going to use CBS or whatever for whatever round they're projected to go in. Now, Paul Pulsowski, 2nd, 4th, and a 7th. Is that your best? Any first round picks coming here? All right. Looks like you're going to Minnesota. Veteran middle linebacker there to help them in what might be a playoff push for their roster. All right, let's go with the big dogs. These guys here, we got to get at least 2 first-round picks. That's what I got the first time I did this. I had 2 first-round picks. I got it for Bortles and Cyprian. Malik Jackson just not. No one respects defensive tackles here. So the best one, we have a 2nd and a 7th from LA. All right, we're sending you to the Rams. Pretty much a swap of Malik Jackson for Dom Easley. Ew. Well, I mean, in terms of contracts, I guess that's not that bad. But for a player-to-player trade, ew. All right, Alan Hearns. First round, there we go. We'll send you to the Minnesota Vikings, I think. Who they shouldn't even have a goddamn first-round pick because they gave that up for Sam Bradford. Well, we'll get you out. I don't want to play you. I'm going to get at least the worst-case scenario. Alan Hearns is going to be in the NFC. That's the saving grace in all of that. And then we got Jonathan Cyprian. 4th, 3rd, 4th, 2nd round pick. 1st and a 7th from Denver. I think that's what I got last time. Nice to see Madden wanted to switch it up on me. So we're going to send you to Denver. Get another first round pick. That sucks. I had to get rid of him. I didn't want to keep both him and Telvin Smith. I wanted to choose between the two because I don't want too many good studs. And now I have some areas of weakness that I need to fix immediately. But Blake Bortles is not my quarterback. Look at that. Texans need a quarterback bad. Jets, a 1st and 2 7ths. A 1st and a 7th. What the fuck do the Eagles need him for? Come on, Philly. Alright, looks like you're going to Houston. Welcome. You got Blake Bortles. Good job, and enjoy that wonky throwing motion he has. Alright, so I think we're just about where we need to be. We'll sim next week. Then we'll start signing some players. And then we'll sim straight into free agency. Okay, so we're 3 and 4 on the year. Let's actually check out the depth chart here now that we've made a couple moves. Tom Savage, we'll make Brennan out. Let's just give the rookie the fucking keys to the VIP here. Wide receivers, Robinson. Yeah, everything pretty much stayed the same because I already had a lot of that adjusted. So I had guys that I was keeping. I was keeping the other guys healthy. That's the way you can look at it. So let's look at some contracts that we need to negotiate here. Shaquille Barrett. We'll bump you up $2 million on both. And we got you locked in. DJ Swearingers, 81 overall safety. We'll give you a $2 million bump on both. And you are locked in. Thank you very much. Dominic Easley, big time sack hitter. $2 million bump on both. And you should be locked in. Oh, fuck you. Alright. Well, Luke Jokel, how about you? $2 million bump on both. Come with us to Canada. There we go. Luke Wilson, starting tight end. $2 million bump on both. And you will come. Oh, fuck off. Austin Padzor. What about you? Can you take this base deal? Oh, great. Go fuck yourself, you greedy bastard. I thought Canadians are supposed to be humble. Not wanting for more money. Suck it. Okay. We got a couple guys signed there. So, salary length, he wants a better bonus. Okay, let's round up to $2 million. How about that? Thank you. Salary length bonus could be better for Luke Wilson. Alright, we'll bump that up to 1.6. Is that good enough for you? Thank you. Austin Padzor, we'll give you $1 million bump in both. Is that better? Oh my god, the bonus! I'm thinking about just telling this guy to go fuck yourself. You're a 76 overall tackle. We could find better. Alright? I think I'm going to let him go to free agency and then we'll lowball him. Even though he's one of like the Canadians that I want to keep over, I don't really want to pay him that much money. Especially with, I don't want to spoil it because it might happen again. The last 2 times I've done this, we've had the same free agent. The big free agent that I don't know I'm going to resign, but I want to keep the option open. So that all is pretty much done here. Let's just sim straight to the playoffs. It gives me time to check my fantasy team because it is the first week of playoffs. Okay. Todd Gurley looking like a piece of shit. Good for you. Fuck, I hate Todd Gurley. Why can't you do good, Todd? Huh? Luckily, the guy I'm playing, and by guy I mean my girlfriend that I'm playing in the semifinals, has Kenny Britt and Thomas Rawls, both who don't have great games. So it's not looking like a good start to either of our fantasy playoffs here. Could be worse. Okay, going to the playoffs here. This is a time I guess you guys could suggest if you want me to make any changes, because I'm not recording another video for a little bit. At least, like, I'm not physically going to be recording the next video until after this is up, and I can see some feedback in case you guys want me to tweak a couple things. So now that we're in the playoffs, I guess we'll take a quick look at how the stats panned out from year number 1. We weren't last in the division, which is good. Brandon Allen had almost 2,000 passing yards, 18 touchdowns, 13 picks. Man, we should have went with Tom Savage. He's a beast from Pitt. Chris Ivory, 12 touchdowns, 935 yards. Not too bad. Wide receivers, Ty Montgomery, 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. We got 775 yards, 1 touchdown from Deshaun, 501 touchdown from Luke, 503 touchdowns from Robinson, but he was pretty banged up. I think he missed like half the fucking season. Defense side of the ball, Miles Jack, 139 tackles, 102 for Telvin Smith. On the sacks front, we got 9 from Fowler, 8.5 from Onyemata, 8 from Tyron Crawford, only 3 from Easley, which kind of sucks. Interceptions front, 3 from Ramsey, the rookie, and Smith, Swearinger, and Jack also chipped in a little bit. But let's jump right here into the staffing of our team. Head coach, we need a trainer. Gus Bradley, you are fired. Unfortunately, I'm not continuing the Gus Bradley era. Ooh, our scout is a level 30. That's like the highest level scout you can have, so we'll keep him. Trevor Poole, don't think we're going to be bringing you back, bud. Enjoy going somewhere else and not coming with us to Canada. Alright, Conference Championship Week. Sim past this. Now, the head coaching. I want an attacking offense, so West Coast, anything like that would be nice. But we need a trainer. So let's get this guy. Tony Turner. That guy looks like he definitely has a side business selling, like, hair on, fucking, I don't know, looks like he'd sell, like, it looks like a guy that would sell you mutt coins, you know? We'll give you in there. You get world-class regression. And then for a head coach, top one there. What do we got for... Ooh, Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly didn't make it out. Should we sign Chip Kelly? No, we're not signing Chip Kelly. Fuck Chip Kelly. Spread in a 4-3. Zone run 4-3. Balanced 4-3. Power run and attacking 4-3. Chuck Pagano. No, we don't want any of these guys. Power run base. What's the difference in the level? If he has nothing to go with, does that just mean like his tenure? He's been around for a lot because he has nothing. Like it seems like I can get just this guy, Jimmy Bauman. We're going with him. He looks like a cheaper option, and we'll take it. Give him the option here. The other guy doesn't have anything different. He's just coached longer. That has no effect on my actual team. So you can suck it. We're gonna go with the younger option. Maybe he's a college coach. That's where I'd probably go with things. Then again, if I can hire, like, there we go. We got Bauman. We got both our trainer and head coach hired. So let's just jump right in here now to the offseason. And then you will see free agency. I don't really know how active we're going to be honest with you. Because, like I said, this first year technically does not exist. But at least we can see what free agents are there. And I may be tempted to change my mind or sign a couple depth guys. But I don't know. We're still the Jacksonville Jaguars. Not officially the Huskies yet, I don't think. Alright, these guys can go. Oh, actually, we probably should try to re-sign Austin Abadzur. Let's see what free agents. Let's see if the one free agent that I've seen pop up the last few times I've done it is still there. And there he is. Le'Veon Bell is a free agent. And this is going to be, like, tough, but, like, obviously, I have a fuck ton of money. I got $52 million worth of cap, and I could totally sign him. But for an expansion, Le'Veon Bell would definitely not be coming to Canada. Let's keep it somewhat realistic. Let's see what else we have, though. Quarterback, nothing. Literally nothing at quarterback. Maybe we could lowball Mike Glennon. I always thought he might be a solid quarterback to roll with. See if we can lowball him here a little bit. See if we get him under $1 million, $2 million cap hit. We'll give him that. 4.9 mil over 2 years for Mr. Mike Glennon. Running back, Le'Veon Bell. Oh, I should totally do that, but it just wouldn't. I don't know. That'd be a little too unrealistic for me, if you will. We don't need a fullback. Wide receivers, maybe. We got Willie Snead, Percy Harvin, Josh Gordon, Kenny Stills. Right now, what are wide receivers? We're gonna have Allen Robinson, Deshaun Jackson, we're good. We're all right at wide receiver. Tight end, we got Luke Wilson. Martellus Bennett straight up never gets re-signed. He's always there. Monroe, we could use a tackle. 28, 76. Yeah, there's no one else really there. Ooh, a Garrett, 88, but he's 27. Justin Pugh. You're a Pugh smell. I want that contract. Warmack, who we've signed a couple times, but I think we're all right. We need a right tackle. Now look, Pat Stewart is the top tackle. And teams are offering him out the ass. But maybe we get someone else. I think I'll take Vollmer for a 1 year over that. For sure. There you go. Vollmer, come to us. Defensive ends were fine. D tackles were fine. D ends were fine. Outside linebacker were fine. Middle linebacker, though, we could use a middle linebacker. What do we got here? I could probably go Paul Warlow, actually. Solid tackler. He'd do a decent job. I don't want you for that long, though. There we go. We'll give you a 2. We'll give you that kind of deal. Outside linebacker, we're fine. We use some depth, though. If I could sign you for super cheap. Give you that. There you go. How about that? How's that deal? It's definitely not what you want, but I'm not going to get shafted. You could suck it. Safety, we're fine. Strong safety. McDougal. I could very well just move Brian Poole over there to safety. I think that's what we'll do. I don't want to spend too much money here in this free agency period, like I said. We'll get a couple guys here and there. We could realistically sign Le'Veon Bell if we really wanted to. I always get people, man, you should have signed Le'Veon. We'll sign big-name free agents every other year. Just don't want to be the first year. But that's the first time I've actually seen that. We got Dawson, Warlow, and Vollmer. So we got some nice little things filled there. And we'll just sim here straight to the draft. I'm content with building the draft. We have a bunch of draft picks. And that is what we will open up. The video 2, which we're wrapping up here. Video 2 will be a recap of the draft and then probably preseason highlights. And then that's what we're going to do. I don't know when that video will be coming out. Hopefully sooner than later. Very well might be tomorrow for you guys. Not exactly sure. Don't quote me on that. But we are going to have to start this with a new head coach. Kill this draft. So thank you guys for tuning. The first official long edition. Every other video is going to be at least half as long as this. So if you have that ADD, can't pay attention for long periods of time, don't worry. But yeah, let me know if this is your first time stopping by. Don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you guys are excited for what is going to come here in the expansion series. Leave a comment in the comment section below if you have any suggestions or you like what I'm doing. You can throw a couple compliments in there, make my day just that much more brighter. But that will do it for me here today, guys. Thank you for watching, and until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace.